Hello. Hey everybody, what's going on? Doesn't appear I have any video. Huh. What's going on here? Odd. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, there it goes. Okay. Hello. Yeah, there it is. All right. Hey, everybody. It's Panfish Guy. What are you doing this evening? Me? Hanging out with the cat. Although he's going to get booted here in a minute because he's going to be more hindrance than he is going to be a help. But this is Lorenzo. But no, I'm just hanging around the house tonight. I'm getting ready to do some fishing this weekend, and I thought I'd sit down and tie me up some rigs. It's been a while since I played with these. I've been kind of getting by on scraps. So I'm going to sit down and tie me up some three-way rigs, some double minnow rigs, if you will. Sit here, and I'm probably shoot the breeze while I'm at it. So anybody's around, wants to say hi, ask a question, and I don't know, audit, bit rate, yeah, whatever, dude. So, like I say, anybody wants to say hello and ask a question while I'm doing that, I'm just gonna be sitting here tying some rigs. So basically what I do, you know, as y'all know, and if you don't, you haven't watched me very long, but I like spider rig. And something I picked up in Tennessee some years back, and although I have the live scope and I have, you know, stuff that I could predominantly jig fish with, I still like the spider rig. So in so doing, I don't know if y'all ever looked at these, but if you go to the store, you go to a tackle shop and try to buy some of these, a 6-pack of them will run you about $12.99, depending on where you're at, maybe even higher. So they used to sell these things at Walmart years ago, and these are specifically were the B&M Capson Coleman double minnow rigs, and I would buy these things by the dozens, and I finally got tired of buying them. I was like, why don't I just keep these little doodads here and retie my own? So basically what I do through the year then is I break a rig, I kind of keep the scraps. So I still got a weight here, I still got a three-way swivel, and I'm going to reuse that stuff and retie me some new rigs, add some new line to it, and just you know, kind of salvage some stuff. Hey Rod, how you doing, man? I saw you were live today. I didn't get to stay on very long though. It's like your screen kept rebooting or something, at least for a minute there. So, but I had that work thing I was doing, so I didn't stick around long. But hey, you doing it good today, Rod? We got Rod from Rod's Fishing Adventures on, and he hopped on just to say hello. And if y'all haven't checked him out, Rod, you should definitely go check him out on YouTube, Rod's Fishing Adventures. And he does multi-species stuff. He does catfish, he does crappie, he does, I think he fishes for bluegill, he does some fly fishing, he does all kinds of stuff. So got 14. Were you on the river, Rod, or were you at on a lake? Because I couldn't tell. Like I say, it was just a minute that I saw it, and I couldn't tell if you were out on the river or not. So, but yeah, Rod does all kinds of stuff. Good feller. We've fished together before, had a good time. So, Mississippi. He was on the Mississippi River. So, and then, you know, being he's one of them guys that are like, I guess you could call it semi-retired. He's known to pop up live during the middle of the day. You know, must be nice. That's all I can say. But yeah, he pops up live in the middle of the day sometimes and does a live fishing episode. You know, so it's fun stuff. It's fun to watch. So, and he don't get fancy about it. He he just goes out and fishes and has a good time. So, but no, anyway. So like I say, why not reuse the spare parts? You know, if you got them, because the weights, the egg sinkers like this aren't cheap. The swivels aren't cheap. The hooks aren't cheap. Now, the one thing I do have to replace the hooks though, because the hooks rust out because they're not a gold hook. They're a what do you call it? An Aberdeen light wire thing, and they tend to rust. So when you reuse them, you run the risk of losing fish if they're dull, you know. So, but as you can see, I've only got a few of these things here that I've salvaged, and these are just basically to hold the rig once I tie one up. So, and my first objective here is going to be to kind of separate these out, and then I'm going to what the heck? Okay. And once I get these all separated out, then I'm going to go through and see how many weights I got and how many I can salvage, and cut the old line out of them because they're wrapped around. And swivels too. I gotta see how many swivels I got. And I'm sure I've got another bag of parts laying around somewhere that I haven't spied yet, but this will be enough to get me started. But I wanted to do a little bit of spider rigging here coming up, maybe even a little bit this weekend, and figured it would behoove me to get some of this stuff tied up, so I'm not digging through scraps to be able to fish, you know. So, and Lorenzo's actually being a good boy, not bothering me a bit yet. Give him a minute. All right, and then I'm not sure why I got a spool or an old spool in there, but I do. Alright, so I think I got enough of these to make enough to get me by for a while. Now the question is, how many weights do I have? There's a hook. That's what I gotta be careful of with that little knucklehead, because he'll get into these hooks and I'll get hollered at for hurting the cat. Those aren't, yeah, I know I've got more weights than this, but I'll go with what I got for the moment. Yep. So I've got like 9 weights. There's no way on God's green earth I've only got 9 of those left. So I have to do some digging and see if I can find some more. And then here's my 3-way swivels. Let's see how many of those I got to work with. And some of these aren't 3-ways. Some of those are kind of rusty. Yeah. See, I know I got way more swivels than that. So they're hiding out somewhere. But this will be enough to get me a few done for tonight, and I might go dig some up. So Basically, what I'm gonna do here, then, guys, is first I'm gonna clean up these weights and stuff, because I got the way these are tied. They actually loop the line through these egg sinkers, and I don't think this is gonna work so well. Try to poke myself in the end of the finger. I think I had a knife last time I was doing this. Yeah. Alright, be right back with you. Gotta go find myself a knife of some variety. Ah. Hello, Lorenzo. You're a good helper, ain't you? You're a good helper, cat. Okay. So basically what I want to do is just hello. There we go. Alright, so I got all the line pulled out of that one. That way I just kind of make a clean start on them. And these are all different size weights too, because like this one here is a 3/4. Last one I had was a 1/2. Like that's a 3/8. So, and that's why these are different colors here. These those things there, because some of them are. Are you helping, bud? There's some that are 3/8, some that are 1/2, some that are 1/4, and then there's a couple of 3/4 mixed in there too. Surprisingly, he's not super all up into my business here, although he's trying to mess with the camera now. All right, that. Now, if anybody jumps on here, I'm just playing around, so I'm gonna try to do a little locating tomorrow. I was supposed to have a couple buddies come down and fish this weekend, but they both bailed on me. Bastards. Melvin. So, fishing by my lonesome, but that's not always a bad thing, because that means I can do what the hell I want and not have to make anybody else happy, even if I don't catch fish. Of course, I probably won't be so happy if I don't catch fish, but I can say I went. Honk honk. Who's honking at me? Oh, I know what it is. Somebody at the front door. Probably the Bambino. There it is. It's kind of hard to see that stuff. Yeah. Got that all cut off. The line don't want to come out of it. Okay, that one. There's another. And we got that. Yeah, I gotta go find me more sinkers because I know I got a bunch more. There it goes. Alright. Yep. Definitely need some more of those. Alright. So that one's all rusty. Rusty hook. Okay, ain't so bad. I think I just put that one on. So we'll salvage that hook. So looks like I'm going to get about 8 or so tonight. And again, I might wander outside and find me a different, find me another bag of stuff hiding somewhere in the tackle box, in the boat, under the tackle box, on my workbench. I know I got a ton more of this stuff. I don't throw it away. I usually just toss it in a Toss it in a Ziploc bag and save it for the next set of rig tying. If anybody hops on, I'm only seeing, there's nobody on now. Looks like Rob left me too. But anybody hops on, wants to say hello, give me a shout. I'm just sitting here tying triple, double minnow rigs, and figured I'd turn on my camera for a little bit. And we can yak about fishing, yak about life, politics, religions. Nothing's off the table. I'm kidding, of course, but we're not at a bar. We're not at Thanksgiving dinner, so we'll save that for that stuff. Okay. No, not in there. Alright guys, I'm gonna step away for just 1 minute and see if I can't go find my find the rest of my rig stuff, because I know I got a ton more. I know that ain't it. I just gotta find it.
Big Daddy. Come on. Dad.
Come on, you coming in, buddy? Buddy, coming in? Come on, you coming in. You don't have to. You've been a good helper. Yeah, here it comes. Okay, so anyway, I have to do a little more extensive search because I know I didn't throw the stuff away. If I did, shame on me. But I got enough to at least maybe get me through the weekend. Depends on how many rigs that tear up. So. Hey, Rod's here. Rod's still here, he says. Okay, so Rod, you get into any good ones today? Were you channel cat or blue cat or what was you into? Saw your granddaughter caught a big old fish the other day. Looked like it was wearing her out. Alright. Let me see, what else we got over here? Oh, I got a couple more things over here. That's a tangled up mess there. Got some more of those. I have a few more. More things here to play with. A few more weights, a few more swivels. Okay. Okay. Toss that off the side there. Of course, every last one of these things are wrapped around each other. Okay. Just gonna cut these out of the tangle. So Rod, you got anything big planned for fishing? Just hanging local? I think I'm gonna actually try to make some time to get up to Shelbyville this fall. You know, Uncle Lee's got that Uncle Lee and Aunt Jennifer's got that new thing going on up there. Thought I might go help them with some social stuff, and I better have saw the tournament thing the other day. She's like, well, why don't you enter the tournament? I'm like, well, that'd be all well and good, but I'd just be fishing for fun, because I think they call that donating. So, 'cause I don't know enough about those lakes up there to have much of a clue, you know, but I guess it's a good way to learn them. At the same time, never been to Decatur, but I've been to Clinton, been to Shelbyville a couple of times. But I know like 2 spots on Shelbyville. They probably belong to somebody else, but I know where they're at. Is there it goes. All right, there's that. Getting a little faster at these. Alright. So the big thing about these rigs is that, you know, when they make them from the factory, they're made with a, it's like a preset drop, right? So, and I've done my best to kind of guesstimate what the lengths should be, and you know, the biggest thing for me, I think, is just making sure that when you tie the rig up, that your top hook doesn't exceed the depth, the drop of your weight. So you got your main line coming down, you got your swivel, you got a weight part way down that line, and then a hook underneath. And if you get that, what happens is if you get that weight above where the drop of your top hook is, that thing kind of gets tangled up and gets all screwed up. So you always want that top loop on your middle rig to be above that weight. So I had to experiment with that a little bit to get kind of to the right balance, if you will. And then the other part too then is, if you tie them correctly, and I think this is just coincidence, but if you tie them the right drop length, when you go to take your poles apart and stash them away, because you're using a 16-foot pole, if you get the lengths right, they will actually drop very nicely on your eyes of your rods. And then I got a little trick that I do to just to tie those, kind of keep the excess line from jumping around on those rods when you're traveling with them, and it actually works out rather nicely. So, and that's always been the case with when I used the rigs that were already made, and they fit like a glove on the eyes of those reels, or on the eyes of the rod, and makes it rather convenient to travel with your rods without taking them totally apart. I just take the last section off, and they travel rather nicely like that. So now, folks that Mafia rods that I've been working with, they don't make a 16. They do have a 15, and you could probably get away with using that for spider rigging, but what I've got works fine. So what ain't broke don't fix, I guess. Or don't fix what ain't broken, something like that, as the old saying goes. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy live scoping too, but I am first to tell you I'm not that accomplished at it. So if I'm going stump hunting and there's like one fish on one of 10 stumps, I'm not a big run and gun type of guy, so I'm looking for stuff that's got 10 or 18 or 30 fish on it. And I'm gonna sit there and catch them. But and when that happens, when they're concentrated like that, it's easy. It's relatively easy for me. But if it's like onesie twosies and you're covering a lot of water, that is not my strength. So okay, so I think I've got myself somewhat lined out on my supplies. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I got a dozen weights. So, and I think like 3 of them. Looks like I got 4 3/4 ounce. So those are going to be strictly tight line. And then about 6 1/2 ounce and a couple oddballs. So that one might be a half too. But yeah, so we're gonna get after this. So the formula I came up with, excuse me, first, all right, another part of my deal with my, and it's not here, so I'll just use what I got. Is this, no. All right, so what I like to do with my rigs is this, and I probably should use a clear line for this, but I just happen to have this this high vis here, and frankly I don't think it hurts anything, but maybe for super clear water, but I don't fish in much of that. So, but what I like to do is, my spider rigging rods are rigged with 12-pound tests. Actually, it's this very same line, P line, 12-pound high vis, extra strong, P-line, abrasion resistance. There was a model number on here, but I'm not seeing it at the moment. But I like to use a line on my rigs that is, you know, like I've seen a lot of people say, well, you know, you use get this back up again. You know, they say, oh, well, I use like a 6-pound test, you know, on my rig, a 6-pound clear something or other, you know, and I guess that's for, you know, I guess fish that would be line shy or visibility or what have you, right? And then they tie it to their main line, which is either a braid or a strong, you know, a stronger line. So my deal is I like to have at least the same test, if not stronger, on if not more, on my rig, because that way when I get snagged, which inevitably I'm going to, whether it's I'm inevitably going to get snagged, and that's going to, you know, whether that is a whether that's a stump or a treetop or a brush pile or a something, I'm going to get snagged. And for these little light wire hooks here, I know you can't see it because I'm so far away, but for those little light wire hooks, you do have the option, if all else fails in getting them unsnagged, to bend them out. And that avoids breaking your lines off, having to retie. You know, spider rigging is a game of control and covering water, right? So when you're covering water, you're moving, you know, you're moving the boat, and you don't have time necessarily to be fooling around with retying a rig every time you break one off. So you break a hook off because you set 6-pound test and you got 12-pound line on your rod. Well, you're doing extra stuff that you don't need to be doing. So, and then I always try to keep pre-tied rigs in the boat too. So if I break a hook off, I'm just like, okay, I'm chopping it off. I'm just going to tie a new rig on it. So it's way more efficient. It's about covering water, being efficient with your time, where you're not, you know, especially tournament. You know, if you're doing a tournament thing. So you don't want to be diddling around with digging out a hook and retying a hook while you're trying to control the boat. In my case, while you're trying to control the boat, you're watching, you know, if you've got, depending on what area of the world you're fishing in, you might have 6 or 8 other poles out, and, you know, another couple guys in the boat, and you really don't have time to be fooling with that stuff. You got to get on with it. So I like to use the heavier test on my rigs, and that's the end of that story. Wasn't that long enough? All right, so then what I'm going to do then is I had a yardstick out here, and that thing walked off. Every time I'm not looking for it, I find it, but I'm sure probably as soon as I'm done with this video, it's gonna, or this live, it'll pop up. But so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to pre-cut me length to line. Excuse me. For my main drop, my long drop, I'm going to go 36 inches. And I'm probably going to find a more efficient way to do this. So, but I'm just going to cut me off roughly 36 inches. And I'll just do that a few more times. What do you say? I've done this before, and it kind of gets a little stupid with the extra lines laying up here, because I don't have a good way to really store them. But I'm just going to start with 3, so I'm not digging through stuff to try to get these going again. So I got 3 lengths of 36 inches, and then I'm gonna cut me 3 more. This is gonna be my top loop. And we're gonna go for, if I remember right, it's been a minute, but I think I went with 16 inches. So, might have been 15. 16 seems to be a little more round number. So, we'll go with that. We'll do 3 of those. Okay. Dos. Tres. Okay. So, now that I got that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tie my top loop line here really quick while I got it in my hand and I don't have to set it back down. And again, this is my best guesstimate as far as I remember. As I go, I might tweak it a little bit. So just a typical cinch knot on that. Go ahead and tie a hook on it. And the bottom one is going to be a little more going on because we got to get it's always nice when you can see to get your hook, thread your hook. Alright. Alright, so that's my first top loop, and yeah, I'm guessing I'm going for, that's probably about a 12-inch drop on that, and again, that's going to be on my side of my 3-way, right? And then I'm looking to have my main line coming off of here, and my weight's going to fall a few inches below that top hook. That's how we want it to transpire. So grab one of these, and I'm going to tie this. Honk honk. Where'd it go? There you went. Okay, come here. Come here, you. All right. So I'm going to tie one of these long ones on here. And this is going to be my straight through part of the swivel. And I know you guys can't see this, it's so far away. And I'll see if I can show it to you once I'm done here. Get you a nice close-up view of it. And of course, you gotta know how to tie a knot. Works better when you tie the knot correctly. Okay, so we got that. Alright, so I got my main drop coming down here. Alright, and then if I recall correctly, I set this so I went for 16 inches. So if I'm looking at my top hook here, right? So it landed exactly 15 inches from my swivel. So I want my weight to be more than 15 inches, right? So I'm going to bring that up to about, let's look at 12. where does 12 put me? So 35, 23. Yeah, and by the time I loop it a few times, yeah, it's going to be a little bit above. So I'm going to go for no. Hold on. 15. Yeah, so we'll go for 20. What do you say? And this is probably going to be wrong, but I'm going to guess it real quick and we'll re-examine. Alright, so if I start here, I take this to 20. I think it was, I don't want to say it was much. Yeah, because that's 20. 15 is going to bring me back to 17. Okay, so let's try 15 inches. So we're going to go, let's go 14. Yeah, that looks better because it's going to shorten up a little bit by the time I wrap it. Okay, so we're going to go 14 inches. And again, I may have to adjust. Okay, and then I'm going to wrap this 4 times through. So take that line, back through the weight, and then also, while I'm at it, I'm going to wrap it to, I'm going to wrap it underneath itself a couple times so that it doesn't walk off, or back off, I should say. And one more. Okay. And got one of the reclaimed hooks. Tie on there. Alright, so here's my completed rig. I'm going to bring it up close and personal. Show it to you guys. So, we're three-way rig, and the top is tied off on the side of it, right? And then we've got our drop down to just a few inches above the weight, right? And of course that's going to have a minnow on it, so it's going to float around with its thing with the minnow. And then you got about a 12-inch drop below the weight to the bottom hook. And again, ideally that puts me right on the mark as far as dropped one there. Right on the mark as far as the eyes on the pole are concerned. But you can always kind of adjust on that too, but it's nice when those line up line up to where you can just drop them right on there and then twist the line. Then we got on that, and one's done. So you'll have to remind me of that measurement again. I think I said 14, right? Something like that. So, all right. Grab me another swivel. Looks like I got 3 people on. Who's there? Say hello. Say hello to my little friend. I'm just goofing off in the garage tying some rigs tonight, guys. So, but say hello so I know who's here. We can chat. I got nothing else to do. Well, I could find other things to do, but I'd probably involve working on the house and stuff. I ain't down for that tonight. It's my weekend off. Don't none of y'all repeat that to my wife. She's in there watching movies. Hey, Michael Upchurch, how you doing? Toledo, did we meet at one of the fishing shows? So we were in last year, Columbus last year for the fishing show with brush pile jigs. I know I've seen you on the channel before, but oh, you haven't? Okay. All right. Well, how far is Toledo from Columbus? Obviously, I have no idea the geography of of state of Ohio, other than the fact that Cleveland's on the lake, but because I just happened to fly through there one winter. All right, a 3-hour drive. That's a pretty good haul. Yeah, there's a big fishing show in Columbus every year, and they do other locations, but the crew that I run with doesn't make it to the any other of the Ohio shows. Actually, they were going to do Toledo. They were going to do Toledo last spring, but it didn't end up working out. It was going to be like a second honeymoon trip to Niagara Falls or something like that. I wasn't included in that particular endeavor, but I think I was planning on being in Texas at the time. So you got any good fishing going on right now, Mike, or just wait for the weather? What's the plan? And I don't know if you caught my spiel earlier, but I'm just sitting here tying double minnow rigs for my for spider rigging for later on. Actually, for tomorrow. I've been kind of getting by on scraps here lately, and I need to actually sit down and tie some rigs up because just because. Shouldn't need to add anything to the end of that sentence. Just cause. Gotta have your tackle in order, right? 2. So I wrap them 4 times. On the Maumee River. I'm gonna say, I bet you there's some walleye in the Maumee River. Yeah, I mean, yeah, here in southern Illinois, I guess we're blessed enough that we got bodies of water. You can catch crappie pretty much all year round. Without driving particularly far. You know, obviously we're not in the ice belt here, so we're not big on ice fishing this far south, but so once I get going on these, they go relatively quick. There's number 2. Okay. 2. Now, the one thing you got to remind me of, guys, is actually take these with me to out to the boat before I pack up for the night. So that's always a novel idea. You work on your tackle and then you drive off in the morning and leave it in the garage. And speaking of which, these are a number 2 Aberdeen light wire panfish hook. This is what I use for my rigs, and this basically mimics what comes on the Captain Coleman B&M Captain Coleman double minnow rigs. Make sure I state that correctly. Somebody might get mad that I didn't say B&M, or somebody might get mad that I only said, or that I didn't say Captain Coleman. Holy cow. That hook's limber. That hook was limber as all get out. So got him. Okay. Tie on the main. How we doing tonight, guys? See, we got one on. I don't know if Mike left or left and came back, but if you're on and you haven't said hi yet, please do so. I'm sitting here in the garage tying up some rigs tonight, guys. Double minnow rigs. Basically, I save all my junk from my broken off rigs and stuff from previous fishing trips, and kind of salvage it. For some reason that line doesn't want to go through there. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just recycling old parts, making me some new minnow rigs. Well, okay. Set that aside for a minute. It's got some rust or something in it. But that one slid right in there. Hey y'all. It's Dan. I'm sitting in the garage goofing off tying some minnow rigs tonight. You jumped on. Say hi, will you? Yep. These measurements are working out all right. Right. 3 down, 27 more to go. I'm not making that many tonight. I'm just making enough to get me by over the weekend, because I gotta find the rest of my parts. So I'm gonna recap. Basically tying myself up some double minnow rigs, because I like the spider rig. I know everybody says it's a thing of the past, but I like to do it. It's fun. Of course, here in Illinois, we have our limitations on that type of fun. So our spider rigs here end up being 3-legged spiders in most lakes. Some lakes, some of them you can use. Illinois has 3-pole limit. Statewide, and then there's also some lake specific 2-pole limits throughout the state, and you got to fall within those. So if I'm spider rigging anywhere in Illinois, I'm not using any more than 3 poles per person, mind you. $222. Sounds like a good number, Mike. Of course, that's not taking into account traffic and all that, right? So, traffic jams and all that fun stuff. But basically, that show that we go to there in Columbus is at the state fairgrounds in Columbus. I think it's kind of on the north side of, I want to say it's on the north side of Columbus. Northish. One more of those. Alright. Then we'll do some 16-inch ones. Now the best way to go about this. $16. And it's a little steamy in the garage tonight. Wish I'd have done this over the weekend because it was downright pleasant this past weekend. One more. You know, I think I might have just found the rest of the stuff I was looking for. Yeah, no. Huh? Got a bunch of the swivels and one weight. A little bigger. I know I got more than things around. I might trip over them tomorrow. I might not. I might not ever find them. Okay, so short one. Let's grab a swivel. And one of my top leads. Well, I must have got some water inside that package or something. So those things are trying to rust already. Did have an occasion where I was out fishing in the rain, but I don't think I even bought those hooks back then. I don't know how they got wet. Okay. Come on now. Let go. Those. So I don't touch this. Alright, just a recap. Got 2 people on. I'm tying double minnow rigs tonight. Sitting in the garage goofing off. I saved my spare parts from when I break rigs off and stuff. And then I recycle. Add some new components, put new line on them. Reuse the weights and the swivels. Sometimes the hooks, but the hooks tend to rust, so more often than not I don't, but occasionally I'll find a decent one. It's not ate up with rust yet. And I cut a 16-inch section of line for my top hook, and then I tie a 36-inch section of line for my bottom. I set my weight at about 14 inches below or above the end of the line, and I tie my loop the line through the weight 4 times and kind of pull it in underneath of itself as I'm going, and it makes a pretty dandy almost exact size is what you buy from Bass Pro or wherever you buy your Captain Coleman double minnow rigs, B&M Captain Coleman double minnow rigs. It's a pretty good estimation of what the length of the line and everything else involved with I don't know what on earth I did here, but please make it stop. Hold on. There we go. Okay, let's not do that either, shall we? I'll tell you what. It's after 9 o'clock. It's past my bedtime. All right. It's like that. That's what I thought was going to happen. Wine is feeling a little cheesy. Let's try that again. There it went. Oh. Good. We're making progress. Okay. Hello?
Rennie still on here?
No. Out. Got some defects in there.
good as that was. Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna do it for me for tonight, guys. I'm the only one on anyway, so my eyes are getting tired, and I'm gonna go throw this stuff in the boat and call it an evening. So I'll be out on the water tomorrow, trying to catch me some crappies. Later, guys. See ya.